In this tutorial, we're just going to go through the basics of how to set up a simple aura. So I've logged into my Aurasma Studio dashboard. The first thing I want to do is upload my trigger image. The trigger image is the image that's going to match the printed image so that when the user hovers over it with their device, it launches the aura. I'm going to open my trigger images window, and in this case I want to add a new image. Give it a name. Now, I'm going to ignore the coordinates area. The coordinates area is used for location-based triggers. We're not going to get into that right now, and probably not going to use location-based triggers for your yearbook, since your yearbook won't be in the same location each time. So I'm going to skip to my training image area and click Browse. And here's the image I want to upload. Click Save. Now, a couple of notes about trigger images. They have to be JPEGs or PNG files. They must be fewer than 500,000 pixels in total size. A good example of this is use an image that's 800 by 600 pixels. That's about 480,000 pixels, so that's below the 500,000 pixel threshold. Now the reason for that is if you use an image that's too big, the app will have a hard time focusing in on that image. Now this is really a big deal. I can't stress this enough. It will let you upload images bigger than 500,000 pixels, but then when you go to use the images or you go to scan the images, you may run into issues and not really understand why. So I've uploaded my image, and for now, I don't need to use any of the masking tools on this image since this is a good image with a lot of detail. I'll click Close. Now the next thing I'm going to want to do is upload my overlay. The overlay is the digital assets, the video or the images or the animation that will run when the user triggers the aura. So first I'll select Add, give it a name, select what type of file it is. In this case it's just going to be a simple video. Click Browse, select my video, and I can decide whether I want the video to loop or not. That means when the user hovers over it, once it plays, will it automatically repeat or will it just play once and be done? I'm just going to have mine play once and click Save. Now this process may take a few minutes depending on how large your video is, because remember it has to upload all that video content to the Aurasma Studio site. Couple notes about overlays. Overlays need to be in MP4 or MOV format, or in some cases FLV format if you're using transparency channels. The MP4 and the MOV formats are really important because that allows the video to play on virtually every device out there. iPads, Androids. It doesn't matter with these kind of file formats. Other formats may work, but the image quality and playback may be kind of poor. In addition, videos need to be under 100 megs in size, and if you're uploading images, they also need to be in the JPEG or PNG format, just like trigger images. Once the video is uploaded, I'll click Close. And now I want to hook these two items together and create my aura. So I'm going to go into the aura screen, click Add, and this is my new aura window. We'll just fill this out top to bottom. Aura details. First, give my aura a name. Locate the trigger image. Now it's only going to find trigger images that are already uploaded into my channel. There's my trigger image. Tell it what channel. In this case, I want it to use the actual Walsworth University channel. Close that window up. Now I'm going to go to my overlays window and click Add Overlay. And again, I get a drop down that's only going to show me the overlays that are already loaded in to my channel. And there's my overlay. By default, this looks pretty good because I have a vertical image and a vertical overlay. Now sometimes you may see overlays appear horizontally. Now that makes sense because most videos are shot horizontally. And you can see where if you put a horizontal overlay over a vertical trigger, it may look kind of strange. Well, you can reset overlays to be in proportion, and that way you can stretch them in and out in proportion. Just right click on the overlay and you'll see there's a Restore Aspect Ratio button. If I do that, notice how it restores it to perfect proportion. And then in this case, I'm just going to go back up and resize it. Now, as I'm resizing it to keep that overlay in perfect proportion, I'm going to hold my Shift key down and then I'm going to drag on one of the corners. And once I get it to the size I want, and actually I'm going to line up those numbers in the center, I can just hit Save. And there I've created my aura. Now, how do users see this aura? What I have to do inside Aurasma Studio is I have to make my channel public so that users can find and follow my channel. So I'm going to go into my channels window, click Edit, And right here under my privacy settings, I'm going to change from private to public. And that will allow users to go into the app, search for my channel by name, follow it, and then if they have the trigger image in front of them, like the cover of the yearbook, they can scan the yearbook cover, and they can see that aura that we just set up. So that's the very basics for creating an aura. In later videos, we'll get into more details about the different areas, especially if you want to do things like advanced actions on auras, or make multiple overlays into one aura, that sort of thing.